three-point range.
And Jackson from the corner was wide open. Jahidi White clears for the Wizards.
In a game like tonight, the pressure is on Washington to get easy baskets in transition as well as second shot attempts.
And here's Jordan. Jordan picked up by Jackson, and Jordan's turnaround hits. Michael Jordan, who had 16 last night, but as you pointed out, not going to the free throw line again.
Doug Collins very happy with Michael, saying that he's playing great basketball in the last 4 games, not trying to do too much. The thing with Michael tonight, he's being played by Jimmy Jackson. It's like a guard. He's not being played by anyone 6'9" or 6'10", where sometimes he has difficulty shooting over the top.
10 on the shot clock. Rod Strickland, and they hear the boos every time he handles the ball, and a great feed to Alonzo Mourning for the Heat first basket.
Now that's the major plus for Rod Strickland. He can beat you off the dribble. You need to come to him because he's an excellent scorer and can finish in the paint.
Here's Whitney, picked up by Strickland. Wizards have struggled at home, losing 6 of their 8 games, but Hamilton, with an up and under, has his second basket.
Well, you can see he knows how to score.
And on the turnover, the Heat get it back, or the Wizards.
Hamilton is outstanding. Doug Collins thinks he's one of the best at the short game.
And Michael Jordan is one of the best at the short or long game, as Michael Jordan now, and the Wizards start out 4 for 4 from the field. Washington leading 8-2. And there is Grant battling with Leitner underneath. Grant setting a screen for Jackson, and they're going to call the offensive foul against Brian Grant.
Now, you brought out a good point, Dick. Leitner is an excellent post defender. He's not afraid to sacrifice his body. Grant is trying to hold his area. He's playing with a bruised foot, and we know that he missed 9 games, and his totals are down, not only in points, but in the rebounds.
3 minutes gone by. Jordan over Jackson, and claims he was hit on the hand. No call from Ronnie Nunn, and so the Miami Heat with only a basket from Alonzo Mourning in the first 3 minutes plus.
Right
and
now,
a steal by Jordan.
In the early going, Dick, they're allowing a lot of bumping at the defensive end of the floor.
Leitner over Grant. Long rebound into the hands of Brian Grant, and quickly Rod Strickland, who starting his second game at point guard. Grant working on Leitner. Good defense inside. And Mourning with the offensive rebound to Heidi White. And 2 former Georgetown Hoyas playing in Washington, D.C. go up. And finally the foul is called against White.
What you liked about this play, Grant taking it strong to the rim, and then Alonzo Mourning coming in on the offensive board. We have 2 teams here tonight who are not great in statistics in regards to the rest of the league in offensive rebounding. They're both right at 10 and 11, which is not high when you consider that they are 2 low percentage shooting teams.
Alonzo Mourning, a 65% free throw shooter. In fact, the Miami Heat are next to last in the NBA at 68%. But let's take a closer look at Alonzo Mourning's career versus this season.
Well, you can see the season he's down with the points. Look at the field goal percentage is down, and then also the rebounding. Now, the rebounding is big here because it's at the offensive end where Alonzo picks up a lot of extra points.
Wizards leading 8-3 as Mourning connected on 1 of 2 from the line. So both teams playing back-to-back games. Hamilton gets it. Leitner again will shoot from outside and hits this time. So Christian Leitner gives the Wizards a 7-point lead.
Miami will trap every pick and roll. When they trap the pick and roll or the pick and spot up, that spot up man will be open. It forces you now to make your next rotation. Christian Leitner will be open all night at the top. By Leitner. As he comes off, you'll see Grant step out and then his man trap him. Watch Leitner stepping back, but watch how they take the defense down into the low corner. Keep an eye on it. Now, see, this is called spacing. Once that ball comes back, it puts pressure on Strickland or Mourning, and they have to clear that up. Riley immediately called the timeout. Otherwise, we'll see that screen and spot up time after time.
The Wizards have hit 5 jump shots for their 10 points. And Alonzo Mourning accounting for all 3 of Miami's points. And that will drop through for Brian Grant. So Brian Grant had been injured and coming back after missing 8 games with a bruised foot.
Well, Grant is an excellent jump shooter facing the basket. Now, you're seeing right now, Miami is showing you full court pressure, a little lazy trap, all right, by the power forward, Grant.
10 on the shot clock. And Jordan stepping back against Jackson is fouled. So Jim Jackson, who has been well-traveled throughout his career in the NBA, fouls Michael Jordan, so he is going to the line for the first time in 3 games.
The main thing here is when Michael elevates to get up on a shot, quit trying to block the shot. You caught him right on the hand. That's the second time Michael's been fouled. It's the first time that the referees put him on the line. Big thing right there is get up, put pressure on the shot.
There is Mourning and Jahidi White jockeying for position. And Michael Jordan makes the free throws to give the Wizards a 7-point lead. Jackson now handling the ball and guarded by Jordan. Off the screen, Eddie Jones stepping back. Jones has yet to attempt a shot. He's their leading scorer. Jackson inside the 3-point line. Misses, and Michael Jordan coming down with the rebound. So in the first 5 minutes of the game, the Washington Wizards, as you mentioned, good spacing and hitting their perimeter shots. Jordan, turnaround from the baseline, and Jordan now has 7 of the Wizards' 14 with 3 for 4 shooting.
Well, Michael's off to a great start. You can see he has a bounce in his movement, and he just elevates right up over the top of Jackson.
Strickland and Mourning, and Strickland with feed inside, and Jackson has it blocked by Leitner. Strickland in the lane hitting, so good persistence by 35-year-old Rod Strickland, and it's a 14-7 game.
Now, Rod Strickland can finish in the paint at 6'3", excellent elevation.
Leitner setting a high screen for Whitney. Strickland stays with him. Leitner driving and feeding Jahidi White, and White puts it through. Jahidi White softens it up in the middle, and then Brendan Hayward comes in.
Well, that's Leitner at his best. Instead of forcing a jump shot, putting it on the floor, you know Miami will quickly come on a double team. Leitner can pass.
And here is Eddie Jones, and he forces the foul, and will go to the line to shoot 2.
Now just keep an eye on Leitner as he comes down into this area. You're going to see people come over, and Jahidi White will move right to this area and explode for the pass. Now keep an eye. See, now right there, you've got the double team. Leitner, excellent dish, and then send it home strong with 2 hands. Nothing soft that time.
Jones, one of the better free throw shooters at 83%. The foul was on Rip Jones. Oh, that was on Rip Hamilton, and Jones, who scored the game-winning basket with 10 seconds to go to give the Heat the win against Milwaukee, 99-97. 7-point lead for Washington. Jordan gets Jackson in the air, goes down low to Jahidi White, has it knocked away, recovers, and Hamilton battling Eddie Jones for the loose ball, and a timeout was called. So Eddie Jones calls a timeout before he was tied up. It is a 20-second timeout.
This is a situation where Washington has excellent passers. You know that Whitney, Jordan, and then Leitner will always give the ball up in traffic. So if you are a big man here, or you're moving without the ball, you have to get yourself in position to make the catch and then set yourself up for a high percentage shot. Jahidi White, he should have had another dunk right there.
And that is an example of where Michael Jordan wants these other teammates to get into the act. He's been doing that a lot more lately. You can see he's happier with the way things are going. It's not only the Michael Jordan show, and he wanted the big guy to get in it.
Well, winning will always force a camaraderie. The spirit picks up. You'll see the camaraderie of the guys. And it will always come down to, will you make a pass under pressure rather than force a bad shot? And when you see guys give it up, it becomes contagious, and then everybody wants to play with you. It sounds easy, but difficult to do when egos are involved and guys are worrying about stats.
Well, we saw that with the New Jersey Nets last week in their victory, handle victory over Phoenix.
Well, 29 assists, everybody's sharing the ball.
Strickland with 5:20 to go in the lane, and he can get that all night.
All night. See, he's murder. He's murder from 17 feet down. You know he can score. Throughout his career, he's always been a terrific scorer, 14 points a game, shoots a high percentage. He takes point guards down in there and just gets right up over the top.
Played with the Wizards for 5 years, and then released in February, picked up by the Portland Trailblazers. And here is Hamilton. Jones gets a piece of it, and it comes out to Rod Strickland. Jordan is back with Whitney. No look pass to Jackson, who lays it in.
Strickland and Jackson give Miami two excellent passers in the open floor. Both guys could play point guard for you.
Miami on a 6-0 run, coming back after they trailed by 9. And they're going to call Jackson for the push off on Michael Jordan.
Now keep an eye on this to the left of your screen. This is just a nice move by Rod Strickland. You know, sucking the defense towards him, thinking that he's going to take it all away and then dropping it off.
That is the second foul on Jackson, and he'll go out of the game and be replaced by LaFonso Ellis. So Ellis, who averaged 9 points a game and 6 rebounds at Minnesota, his 4th team in 5 years, the Miami Heat, but a pretty good player to have around, can play several positions.
Excellent player. He can play right across the front line for you. Now this is a tough matchup for LaFonso against Michael.
Jordan misses the baseline shot, and Strickland the rebound. 3-point lead for the Wizards. They were up by 9. And the baseline basket by LaFonso Ellis, who just came into the game with 4 minutes remaining in the first.
Well, LaFonso Ellis, a high percentage shooter and loves the baseline jump shot.
Jordan sends it out to Leitner. Good ball movement, and Hamilton hitting a 3, the first of the game. So Rip Hamilton stretches the Wizard lead again to 4.
Well, you always love it. When there's a trap, make 2 passes. That second pass will usually free you up.
The Wizards have led all the way, and Alonzo Mourning turnaround against Heidi White. Grant coming in for the offensive rebound, has it stripped away by Whitney. Wizards gaining a lot of confidence, having won 5 of their last 7 games. Here is Michael Jordan beating White. And White made sure on that occasion.
Well, you can see Heidi White and Brendan Haywood, they both have pretty good hands. And all you do is just move. Michael will get the ball to you. He'll put it right on a dime. Now it's up to you to send it through.
So Washington already with 7 assists. So good ball movement and unselfish play by the Wizards. Under 3 minutes to go. Eddie Jones calls for the charge. He was determined to get inside, and he knocked Leitner down. So a timeout with 2:54 remaining in the first.
Yeah, Eddie Jones definitely frustrated. This is a great move by Michael. How about the pass? Right on the money. He's got his hop. He just stares you down. He's right up in your face. Now, in this one, he goes to the baseline, up over the top of Jimmy Jackson. Now, here, he loves to take the double team. He'll always make the pass. It's always been a part of his game.
Michael Jordan, who missed the game and had fluid drained from his knee, has tendonitis, and the good news was nothing was structurally wrong with it. He's gone on a different exercise program, and it was in the Dallas game that he had his first and best explosiveness, according to Doug Collins, and he's showing that again tonight.
Yeah, I like it because the response is happening. We've had them now. This is our 3rd time. And we said in game 1, have patience with the young players, allow them to grow month to month, and then once you get in your offenses and your defenses, they'll play with a lot of confidence.
Hamilton misses the shot, and Heidi White tries to tip it in. Anthony Carter in the game, Chris Gatling as well, and the jumper by LaFonso Ellis, and the Heat trail now by a score of 21-17.
LaFonso Ellis has always been a 15, 16-point scorer, and he shoots that nice, solid percentage, anywhere from 46 to 49%.
Tyronn Lue, who's been one of the people who has made the Wizards better coming off the bench at point guard, is in there. Kwame Brown, their #1 pick out of high school, is also in as Christian Laettner. Again, makes it 23-17, the Wizards.
Every time we come into a building, Christian Laettner has a great night.
That's right.
And he's always open in the same area. 18 to 21 feet from the basket.
And Carter trying to get it to Brian Grant. It's knocked away. Lue pulls up and hits from the foul line. So Tyronn Lue, and we've got a pretty good pace going here. The Wizards lead by 8.
Anytime you see the break with Tyronn out, you've got to get to him. Lue can score. And what I liked there was Laettner took the defense right with him. Lue pulled up and hit that medium jumper.
Rip Hamilton on the personal foul as we send it over to Craig Sager.
Well, Dick, you were talking about how Michael Jordan has changed or amended his practice and workout routine. The biggest difference in these 9 days since he had the fluid drain, he no longer takes part in the drills during practice. He also doesn't take part in the scrimmages. Instead of setting an example, as he always did with the Bulls and early in training camp, he voices his opinion, and during practice, he now stretches, ices, and spends most of the time riding a bicycle. Dick?
All right, that's the rundown on Michael Jordan, and he has responded. Hubert Davis, another Tar Heel, has come into the game replacing Rip Hamilton, who goes out with his second personal foul. Meanwhile, a 3 by LaFonso Ellis, who has 7 points since coming off the bench for Miami.
Wow. LaFonso Ellis caught Kwame Brown standing on the wrong side of the lane and looking. LaFonso just went right to that deep corner and spotted up.
Tyronn Lue missing the runner and Ellis getting the rebound. So Ellis, who had been the starter, now coming off the bench. And Carter trying to get it to Grant. And the 3-point attempt by Ellis out of bounds. Last touch by Miami. So LaFonso Ellis, who was a starter for Pat Riley until the latest lineup change. Brian Grant coming back from injury and now coming off the bench. 5-point lead for the Wizards with 41 seconds remaining in the first. Dick Stockton, Hubie Brown, Craig Sager from the MCI Center in Washington. Loop it into White. Eddie Jones broke that up.
Great defense. Eddie Jones read that perfectly.
And here is Gatling over to the side, and Jones missing a 3. And Jahidi White getting the rebound.
Jahidi White has had an excellent quarter, not only at the offensive end, but he's rebounding big here in this game. And holding Miami to only 1 shot.
Yeah, no question about it. And then we have yet to see Brendan Haywood, who has really been on a tear as of late. Playing for the last shot practically of this first quarter. Lue driving in with the other hand, and the 24-second clock would have expired, and now the game clock expires, and that'll do it for the first quarter as the Washington Wizards, led by Michael Jordan's 8 points, have led all the way. And after 1 here at the MCI Center, the Wizards, who are shooting 58%, lead Miami 25-20. And Laettner on the free throw line. The Heat, as we told you, one of the worst free throw shooting teams, but the Wizards one of the best at 80% as a club.
Well, the Wizards have 14 guys on their roster. 8 of them are shooting over 80%.
And Carter open for the shot, and that's what Pat Riley wants him to do, not drive, but hit the open shot. He's just come up empty, though, on 2 of those occasions. Hamilton back in the lineup, leaves it for Jordan. And the rebound by Brendan Haywood, and Laettner puts it in. So Haywood was there, and then Laettner comes in to score, and now he has 9 points and has overtaken the high scoring. 4 minutes gone by, and the Wizards up by 4 after seeing their 9-point lead knocked away, and a defensive play by Laettner. Jordan feeds Hamilton, who's fouled by Ellis.
Here what we're having now is guys are posting up. The defender is behind the post up now. Instead of getting him the ball, you're allowing yourself to be trapped. When you allow yourself to be trapped, Washington is quick, and they're causing the turnovers. You have to read the initial pass.
So Ellis now picking up his 3rd foul, and Eddie Jones is going to check into the game for the Miami Heat. Popeye Jones has come in for the Wizards. Hamilton makes good on the first free throw. Fans, you can vote right now for the starters in NBA All-Star 2002. Just log on to NBA.com or America Online, AOL keyword NBA All-Star, and cast your ballot. So Ellis goes out of the game with 3 fouls, and he did a good job other than that aspect with 7 points. Rod Strickland also comes back in. So right now, Strickland and Carter are both in the game. 2-point guards for Miami.
Well, Strickland, being such a great scorer, can play the 2 position without any problem.
Carter from Strickland, in and out, and Popeye Jones the rebound.
Yeah, he's had all good looks at the basket tonight, but the ball will not drop.
Lou for 3, and he's got it. Teron Lou, whose game has moved up a notch in every area, including the outside shooting, and the Wizards now lead by 9 points, matching their biggest of the game, and Pat Riley wants to talk it over.
Oh, you've got to get to Lou, because Lou is a proven scorer. Big-time scorer in college at Nebraska, and he was a big 3-point high percentage shooter. The young guy definitely wants the 3.
Leading by 9 and running off 10 in a row on the Heat. Here is Mourning, the double team on him. Grant going back to Strickland. Mourning with the turnaround, and Alonzo Mourning now with 7, tied with Ellis for the scoring lead. Hamilton guarded by Carter and having a size advantage there. Lou is pushed by Brian Grant. That's his 2nd foul.
Brian Grant is being used like a roamer in football, like a middle linebacker. And what he's doing is he's leaving his man, whether it be Leitner or whether it be Popeye Jones. And they're using him to help out in trapping on the sides, in the backboard, in trapping at the top of the circle.
Jim Jackson is into the game for the Miami Heat. And there's Jordan trying to work against Jackson. Plenty of time now. 6 on the clock. And Jordan gets Jackson in the air and hits the shot. How many times have we seen that?
That was just such a great fake. See, that, you're talking the old-established pro. He hung in there. He gave him 3 moves. Jimmy Jackson countered them all. And then that last head fake moved Jackson right out of the picture.
Wizards 4 of 6 shooting here in the 2nd quarter. Hamilton got a hand on that. And there is the Mourning playing cat and mouse with Brendan Haywood and finally hitting the shot. And the lead is 7. 4 of 5 from the field for Alonzo Mourning. Michael Jordan leading all scores with 10 points. Mourning has 9 to top the Heat. Popeye Jones hitting from outside.
See, now that's confidence. Michael didn't even hesitate. He was trapped. He spun around, threw the ball right to the spot up man, Popeye Jones. And Popeye Jones, no hesitation, right up and in.
And once again, the Wizards leading by 9 points. Remember, they're 2 and 6 at home, so they want to get some momentum going in their own building. And there is Eddie Jones, who has not been a factor. He is fouled, however. Jones, who comes in averaging 19 a game and only 2 points. And the personal is against Richard Hamilton, and that is his 3rd foul. So Doug Collins has a decision.
Big thing you're looking at for Pat Riley, he's back in training camp. He has so many changes. He has so many guys back off the injured list. Plus, you're picking up key guys after the season starts. So you do not see the smooth type of flow that you're accustomed to with Miami.
Let's take a look at what's upcoming on the Turner Sports tomorrow night on a 9 p.m. special start right here on TNT. The Orlando Magic play the Golden State Warriors out west. And then next Tuesday on TBS at 8 p.m. it'll be the LA Clippers against the Phoenix Suns. The Clippers doing very well as of late. And then a week from tonight on TNT, the Toronto Raptors and the Indiana Pacers also at 8 p.m. start. Eddie Jones making both of his free throws. And a 7-point Wizard lead. 5:35 remaining in the first half. Jordan with a fall away. And he was knocked unbalanced on that play. And the last touch by the Miami Heat.
Yeah, Michael right now is pleading to Ronnie Nunn that he was fouled. Keep an eye on this now. See, now once as Michael steps back, see, he felt he was pushed right there. That's why he went off balance on that shot.
You want a foul. So Jordan now with a smile on his face after making his case We'll inbound to Chris Whitney, who has come into the game. Whitney fires away a wild shot, and here's Strickland as Miami pushing it up with a 4-on-2. Here's Eddie Jones for 3, and he misses. The Miami Heat badly in need of a spark.
Yeah, and one thing is they're pushing up a lot of bad shots.
Jordan fouled, and there was the high-flying act. You want to talk about Air Jordan? There it was. And Michael Jordan is fouled by Eddie Jones.
Now keep an eye on him now. He's going to elevate. He's really quite far away from the hole. Now this is a good foul right here. You're not going to let him dunk it. Force him to make the foul shot.
I tell you, having that knee drained has really helped him because we're seeing a Jordan we hadn't seen earlier.
Well, I think that Doug tonight made a good point with you and I, and that is that he has seen the magical step come back. He had his best practice the other day. He's also now in the last couple of ball games. He's got that quickness about him.
Wizards by 9. That again matches their biggest lead of this game. Miami with a surge with the 1-point lead.
Now you got to take advantage of Eddie Jones being played by Lou.
Strickland getting it back from Eddie Jones, converts with under 5 minutes to go in the second.
Well, you know that Rod Strickland and Eddie Jones can post up Whitney or Lou, and they can run them in off of a high screen and get that at will.
Jackson defending against Jordan, shooting over Jackson, who does a good job defensively. Jackson was right in his face, and the Heat coming back. Miami trying to generate some offense, and Grant is fouled, and so.
Now, Dick, this point that we're trying to bring up. Washington is trying to get by with Lou and Whitney in the game. You and I could post Lou and Whitney, okay? What's happened? Jimmy Jackson just ran in post up. He had Lou on his back. All right, they came up the floor. They looked at it, didn't make the pass, and they forced the pass into the lane. So you say, well, we got a foul out of it. Yes, but he could have 2 points. See, these are the things. You got to see the mismatches.
Did you say I could post up?
Well, maybe I stretched it.
I thought I heard you say that, Hubie.
A little bit of a stretch.
Well, what else did you say after that? By the way, Whitney committing that last foul. But a good point because you got to see what's out there.
Absolutely.
Take advantage. Here is Jordan. Michael Jordan with 14 points tonight. And again, Washington by 9. Jordan is 5 for 10 from the field. He had 16 last night.
Well, he's upset because of his last 2 shots. The last 2 shots, one he thought he was pushing, the other one he shot a line drive.
Morning trying to get it in the hands of Eddie Jones, but Tyronn Lue ties him up, and there they go.
Of course, because as soon as Eddie Jones went into the post, you got a guy at 5'11", playing a 6'6", 6'7" guy. They play behind him. Of course you go to him.
And Michael Jordan still, there's a triangle going on there with Jim Jackson.
Yeah, when they've been talking. Yeah, well, see, when Michael hit the last shot, he's been talking to Jimmy Jackson all the way down the floor, and he's feeling he's getting the best of Jackson. Jackson has just got to shut him off and just play his game.
Jackson is a 10-year veteran out of Ohio State, so he's seen it all. Brian Grant, the Heat missing some good perimeter opportunities tonight in this first half, and the Wizards trying to open up their biggest lead of the game with 3 minutes and 15 seconds to go in the half. Here's Jordan, Popeye Jones, and the lead now is 11. Michael Jordan not only has 14 points, he has 5 assists to go with it.
A great look and a great pass.
Brian Grant. And once again, the Heat are missing shots, and we'll have a loose ball foul. And the crowd thought it should be against Mourning, but Popeye Jones may be called for that foul. And we're going to take a timeout, and it's going to be against Haywood. Crowd thought it was on Mourning. Timeout. The lead is 11 for the Wizards. But when you take away Tim Hardaway, Anthony Mason, Dan Marley, Bruce Bowen, and others, it's a change.
Well, 15 guys on his roster last year, only 5 remain from that team. And that team won 52 games.
So it's a new age in Miami, and Pat Riley hanging in there with it. Here is Brian Grant on the spot up, and he has been ice cold from the field.
He's rushing it. He's rushing. He doesn't have the ball set in his hand.
Grant is 1 for 5, and the Wizards trying to raise their 11-point lead with nearly 2.5 to play in the first half. And Lou trying to save the pass from Jordan. And Michael a little upset at himself on that one.
Yeah, well, that was careless. Mainly because no one was playing Lou. They both trapped Jordan. Lou was wide open. And what you expected there was a high percentage shot.
Rod Strickland. Booed early on. Now the crowd has let him go, and there is Jim Jackson hitting the shot. So far, the Jordan-Jackson matchup had been no contest. Jackson with 4 points. Michael Jordan has 10 more than that, 14. Hayward setting the screen, and Mourning fights through it, stays with Lou, the double team. Jones trying to get it inside to Brendan Haywood, but Eddie Jones was a factor in knocking it away.
Once again, Miami traps the pick. They throw right back to Jones. Jones has got to be ready to take that shot. If he doesn't want the shot, just go right down the lane. Take it to the lane, and that back guy who's playing Hayward will come to you. You'll drop it off to Hayward, just like we saw Leitner do on 2 occasions.
So the 7th turnover for the Wizards in the second quarter. Rod Strickland from the baseline, and it's rebounded by Eddie Jones, and Jim Jackson hitting. So Jackson now with 6 points in the game, and it's 45-38 Wizards.
You're going to go in at halftime, Miami. You're going to look at this and say, we had all of these jump shots, wide open shots. We shot a poor percentage. But you know what? We are shooting a lot of jump shots with plenty of time left on the clock.
Jordan from the perimeter comes up empty, and here is Eddie Jones coming back. Jones has 4 points. And nothing from the field, and they're going to call the foul against the Miami Heat. Offensive foul against Alonzo Mourning with 1:10 remaining in the first half.
I am just stunned that Doug Collins has been able to get away with Whitney and Lou in this game, playing against bigger guards for this long of a period of time.
Here's Jones with a baby hook. Popeye Jones with 6 off the bench. And again, the Wizards leading by 9. Their biggest lead was 11. Miami has been in front for only 11 seconds. That by 1 point in this first half. Under a minute remaining and 14 on the shot clock for the Miami Heat. Jackson looking for the ball against Jordan. Instead, Strickland. And Strickland in and out. The Miami Heat with a very low percentage from the perimeter. And Jordan for 3 off the front rim. Strickland ahead to Jackson. He's got it. And Jim Jackson now with 8 points, 6 coming in this quarter.
Well, that was a smart move by Jackson. He was right up on Jordan. He challenged that 3-point shot, and then he just took off.
And the Wizards, for all intents and purposes, playing for the last shot of this first half. Brendan Haywood setting the screen for Tyronn Lue. Jones with a bounce pass. Jordan finds it. Jordan will shoot over Alonzo Mourning, and Haywood will convert with 2:10 on the clock. So Brendan Haywood with his first basket of the game, and that'll do it. And if the magic number has been 9 in this game, it is 9 at the half. Michael Jordan with 14 leading the Wizards. Alonzo Mourning with 9 tops the Miami Heat. As we send it over to Craig Sager, who's with Richard Hamilton.
Who has been scored.
That was excellent movement. They ran their double screens, staggered screens on the baseline. They turned it around twice. And then with Michael coming off the dribble, you know you're getting the double team. Someone's open.
Jim Jackson with Rod Strickland, Eddie Jones, along with Alonzo Mourning and Brian Grant. But the front court hasn't gotten it done for the Heat. Mourning will try to change that as he hits his first shot.
I like what Alonzo's doing tonight. When they hit him in the post, he's turning, facing his man, and he's making something happen. But the big thing is get him the ball. He's now 5 for 6 from the field.
And 11 points for Alonzo Mourning. Jordan getting loose on the baseline, shooting over Jackson, and Michael with 16.
Yeah, he's in a flow tonight. You can see he likes his game, but he also realizes that there's no strain tonight on the release. No 6'9", 6'10", 6'11 guy in his face.
Strickland gives it up to Jackson for three, and he's got it. Jim Jackson hitting the second three-pointer by the Heat. He now has 11 points. And it's an 8-point Wizard lead. They have led all the way other than 1 point in one segment. And Woods stealing it now, has 18.
Yeah, he's going to go right back at Jimmy Jackson. No way is Michael going to allow him, mainly because they've had words throughout the entire first half. But Jimmy Jackson right now is 5% from the field and having a nice game himself.
And Jones driving against Hamilton. And Jones off the rim. Jones is 0 for 3 from the field right now. They need more than that from their leading scorer. And Rip Hamilton with a move. He has 13. And the lead now of 12 is the biggest of the game.
Yeah, Doug Collins says that, no doubt about it, Hamilton has one of the best, if not the best, mid-range game in the league. Anything from 5 out to 15 to 17 feet. He takes it strong off the dribble, and then he shoots a high percentage in that painted area.
Miami calls a timeout, and he says he would like Rip Hamilton to be an all-round player, not just a shooter, and that's what he wanted Allen Houston to be, more of an all-round player when they were together in Detroit. 4 in a row and come within 3 games of the 500 mark. At one point, they had dropped 8 straight games, and they look like a different team. And the Miami Heat, which has been a different team than they have been in the past, with 4 and 15, trying to get back in the game, trailing by 12. Here's Jackson shooting over Christian Laettner, and Jahidi White battling for the ball, and a loose ball foul has been called against Alonzo Mourning.
Anytime that they get down inside in the post area, meaning Miami, something good happens. So I don't understand why they continue to settle for that 18 or 20-foot jump shot, which they have not made tonight. Yet you're going to say, well, it's wide open. Yes, it is wide open, but nothing is going down.
Laettner looking in for Jahidi White, defended by Mourning. No foul on the collision, and White battling his way. He's got a lot of bulk. Watch out, Jahidi White.
Yeah, you knew it.
And the technical foul.
Yeah, now watch it, Alonzo, because see, Alonzo got smashed into. Jahidi White definitely went right into his chest, and he's saying, give me the same ball at the other end of the floor. And when he went over and he attacked the referee, and whatever he said, you know, the magic word was probably involved. And if that's the case, that's automatic.
So the technical on Alonzo Mourning. And Chris Whitney connecting on the free throw. So it's been a frustrating night for the Miami Heat. They have led only once, and that for less than a minute at 26-25. Rod Strickland, who's moved into the starting lineup, that point guard, nearly loses his footing, tries to get it in and does to Grant, and Grant is fouled hard by White.
Miami is playing disjointed basketball. They're playing like slow motion, you know, and unfortunately for us, we're using real speed on the cameras. And
good point.
You know, and it's just amazing. Guys are wide open. They hit the guy, and then it takes forever for the shot to get off. But I'm glad that they went for a good head fake here. Put Grant on the line. Maybe he'll get cooking here.
Well, Grant makes the first free throw. Remember, he was the center for most of last year when Alonzo Mourning was out with his kidney ailment, and then he went to the bench. Big difference from a year ago to now.
Well, you can see right now, he had a bruised foot early in the season, and it has forced him to miss a number of games, 8. He has not been able to get back into a rhythm. And you can say, well, you know, he's not getting as many shot attempts as he got a year ago as the center. Well, that's true.
And he doesn't have as much room to take the shots now that he is playing the forward position, going against quicker people. Knocked the ball away from Jahidi White, and here come the Heat. Here is Strickland. Strickland will put it up, and it doesn't go, and it's getting a little testy underneath there.
They called it on Alonzo Mourning. Alonzo Mourning thought the foul was on Jahidi White, that he grabbed him, that he grabbed his arm.
Instead, it's on Mourning, and that is his 3rd personal foul. So Alonzo Mourning understandably upset here. 13-point lead for the Wizards. And Jordan being blanketed by Jim Jackson. White setting a screen. Jordan pushes back and hits. So Jackson playing him tight. Jordan takes the step back.
Yeah, but you said it perfectly. Pushed off. He did. He pushed it right off on that bump and just elevated right up over.
20 points for Michael Jordan. And a 62-47 lead. So again, the Wizards leading by 15. Mourning leaves it for Jackson, and he hits his second three to bring the Heat to within 12 again.
Now, Jimmy Jackson, since his return, let's face it, you know, this is only his 5th game. He right now is 6 for 7 in threes. So you know he has the feel.
Played 56 games last year with Atlanta and then Cleveland. Coming off a 16.7 rebound effort against Milwaukee. Hamilton with the push shot off the front rim, and Grant making the rebound. So Miami trying to stage a run here, nearly midway through the third, and Strickland misses. Grant is there for the offensive rebound. Goes up.
Oh, don't call 3 seconds. Oh, I can't. Pat Riley right now will flip out. I mean, that is always, that's exasperating, okay, right now, because you hate to see it go 1-3. You know, you like to see a guy go 1,000, 1,000 to 1,003, right? Now keep an eye on Jordan right here. Boom, there's the push. You see Jimmy Jackson? He didn't hop back 3 feet. He was knocked back 3 feet.
Eddie House has come in the game along with Anthony Carter. So the Heat getting small all of a sudden, at least in the backcourt. And the question is, can the Wizards post up against these guys?
Yeah, see, Pat Riley's exasperated. He's pleading with Ronnie Nunn. Unfortunately, Ronnie Nunn is not involved in these calls. It's the other 2 guys.
Jordan foul. Jackson was on his wrist. And Jim Jackson picking up his 3rd foul. And another technical foul.
Watch out, man.
Mourning got one a few seconds ago, and Jim Jackson gets the technical foul here, and Jordan will go to the line to shoot.
Miami's on a short string. They're all frustrated here. They're missing wide open shots. They can't stop the Wizards, you know, in their easy play. And then right now they don't feel that they're getting an even break. Now keep an eye on this right now. We told you earlier tonight, Jimmy Jackson caught him twice on the hand. Now there it is right there. And what they're saying is that he caught him. He definitely caught him. He caught him from the wrist down on the release of the shot.
Well, Jordan missed the technical free throw and now is on the line. And this one goes off too, just like the other did. So Jordan now is hoping to just make one.
Well, MJ, an 83% shooter this year, 84% for his career. Things just are not going right at all. But you can see Jimmy Jackson has got to stop trying to block the shot.
Jordan with 21. And the Wizards lead by 13, 63-50. Under 7 minutes to go in the third. Eddie House to Carter. Carter using Grant as a screen. Brian Grant with another offensive rebound and a putback.
No, that's nice. That's good to see. Maybe they'll get rolling here right now. Pat Riley's gone small. Okay, you brought that out, Dick. You know, what he's looking for right now is a little energy, because House is a player that can come off the bench and get you quick numbers if he's hot.
Former Arizona State Sun Devil, chosen in the 2nd round. Jordan against Jackson with a move against Jackson. It rolls off, but he beats Jim Jackson to the basket. And Carter looking down court. Here is House, and he is defended by Whitney. And here is House with a no-look pass and the hook shot by LaFonso Ellis. And a timeout quickly called by Doug Collins. And now the Miami Heat with a run have cut the lead to 9.
Now, we're going to show you the replay right now. This is what Pat was looking for. Just a great move by House. Broke the defense down. Gave the ball into LaFonso Ellis to a guy who can score.
Obviously a back-to-back situation. He missed a few games with the virus. How is his health?
Well, you know, I'm concerned about him. I think his health is good considering the state that he's in, but I worry about him. That's one of the reasons I came on an off day. I just wanted to look at him a little bit myself and just see how I thought he looked. But Alonzo is so competitive, he never tells the truth about his health, even before he was sick, and I wanted to see for myself, but I'm worried about him.
Why are you worried about him, and what do you see?
Well, I'm worried, Craig, because I know how he is, and I know the seriousness of the sickness that he has. And certainly he's so competitive that Alonzo is the kind of person that never, his body, his mind never admits to the truth, because he's gone beyond all the time. And I just want to see, you know, some things, you know, just like a parent, you look at a person and you get a chance to see how you think they're doing.
Thanks a lot. See you next week. Go Cavs? No.
No, go Cavs. I have to be objective when I'm at the table. I'm not at the table yet.
That's the thing, you be.
All right. And, of course, to Heidi White, who's another Georgetown Hoya, who's been involved in the duel with Alonzo Mourning in this game, going to the bench moments ago. Richard Hamilton has hit 2 in a row since the Miami Heat had outscored the Wizards 7-1. So Hamilton now with 17 points, second to Jordan's 21.
If you have not seen Richard Hamilton this year, you can see the development from the early part of the year until now. The young guy is really playing with great confidence, shooting a high percentage, and is very quick.
Jim Jackson hitting a 2. And with 4:28 remaining in the third, the Wizards' lead is 11. They were up by as many as 15, so Miami trying to hang in there. But you're right about Richard Hamilton. He has been the leading scorer 4 times in the last 5 games for the Wizards, and he's right up there tonight. Popeye Jones has checked in for Jahidi White. Now Teron Lue will come into the game, and Michael Jordan will sit down. There is Jones, and Michael Jordan gets a hand from the sellout crowd here at the MCI Center. 21 points and 7 assists tonight.
Well, Doug Collins is going with Whitney and Lue to match up with Carter and House right now.
Little guy, little guy.
Yes, indeed.
Times 2. Here is Popeye Jones, and Brian Grant does a good job of fronting him. And the Miami Heat trying to make a surge with 4 minutes remaining here in the third quarter. Miami has been woeful on the road. They have lost 7 of 8 games away from their home arena. And here is House working against Whitney. House pulls up, is fouled, and the basket counts. And a chance for a 3-point play for Eddie House.
Pat Riley realizes this young guy can be a spark, especially if he keeps himself under control and takes high percentage shots. This was just a beautiful move. At Arizona State, when he graduated, he left as the highest scorer in the history of school basketball.
And gets Jones in the air, and Jones bodying him. Michael was looking for the foul. None coming from Jim Kinsey. And now the Heat within 3 points, 75-72. Little more than half remaining in this fourth quarter. Eddie Jones with only 6 points tonight, dribbling in a crowd, lost the ball, but it was last touched by the Wizards.
Eddie Jones is looking for a shot here. Main thing right there was if you came off the screen, LaFonso Ellis would have been wide open behind the 3-point line. That's there every single time on either wing. The main thing is the guy with the ball cannot get selfish here and say that he's going to try to split the defense into a turnover.
The Heat, with 5 seconds to attempt a shot, decide to talk it over. 6:35 remaining in the fourth. Still very solid player with the Timberwolves last year, averaging 9 points a game, scoring, and 6 rebounds. Alonzo Mourning on the inbound pass with a hook shot over Brendan Haywood. Tipped by Ellis out of bounds. It'll be Washington ball.
At the top of the show, we said that when Haywood, Hubert Davis, and Lue came back, the team has really played well. They're 5-2. They should win this one tonight, 6-2, not bad, because Haywood is a monster in shots.
And Richard Hamilton has been a monster scoring-wise for the last week. 23 points now, matching Michael Jordan. And the Wizards by 5 as we get to the 6-minute mark. And a steal by Lue, and the foul by LaFonso Ellis. And that'll be the 4th foul on LaFonso Ellis. And you'd have to say that was a good one, too, because Lue would have been off.
Yeah, what they're going to do here now, this is going to be interesting here, because what you can say is that he was gone. You get the foul shot and the ball. Now, let's see what happens here right now, if that is the call.
Was it a clear path situation for...
Oh, well, you see now,
no.
From our spot, he was gone.
Yes.
And there was no one else over half court.
Instead, the Wizards will inbound, so a good foul that time by LaFonso Ellis. Under 6 minutes to go fourth. Tyronn Lue, the former Laker. He has a championship ring.
Good battle down inside. Eddie Jones and Jordan. Nice D.
Jones tips it, and he'll get called for a reach-in.
Eddie Jones has made the All-NBA, All-Defensive Team 3 times. And he is really battling Michael Jordan down inside. Yeah, he's going to try to play behind him, then come over the top. Now, previous to that, for about 5 seconds, he continued to front Jordan, and they would not allow the pass inside.
4 fouls on Eddie Jones, and shooting over Jackson was Jordan that time, and Michael Jordan comes up empty. So the Heat getting the play from Pat Riley. Eddie House, the point guard, with Mourning, Jones, Jackson, and Ellis. Here is Jones down the middle. Pretty layup.
Wow. Beautiful play by Eddie Jones. Splitting the trap, and then an acrobatic layup.
Hamilton. Look at the arm. Rebound by Hayward, and the foul.
Long arm. The majority of guys, that ball would have went right over their head, right into the hands of Miami. This young guy, you know, they had no idea what they were getting here. And when you think about it, this young guy has stepped in, and he is just a physical presence, because you have to worry. You're concerned about the shot blocking. He's an excellent rebounder, and he's a garbage man around the basket.
And only a rookie, and you could see Kwame Brown and Brendan Haywood being in the future front court for the Wizards. Mourning committing his 4th foul. Haywood 1 out of 2. And the lead for Washington is 4. But Haywood tonight has 9 rebounds, 5 off the offensive play.
Oh, you love it. And you love the threat of the shot clock.
Under 5 remaining in regulation. Jones. Not that time, and he taps it out to Jackson.
Yeah, they got a break there. That was just nothing but hustle and heart by Eddie Jones.
Boy, the Miami Heat trailing almost all the way in this game. They've led for maybe 20 seconds, and Mourning is fouled on the reach-in. Leitner and Brendan Haywood surrounding Alonzo Mourning, and they'll call that on the rookie from North Carolina.
They need a basket from Alonzo Mourning. Miami needs a shot in the arm from him. He's got to take this young rookie to school here.
Alonzo Mourning, 5 or 8 from the field.
Yep.
Not a bad night, but only 8 shots. That's not a good night. House, crossover on Lue, and the whistle. And the foul. So Eddie House is fouled by Tyronn Lue. And he'll go to the line to shoot and try to bring the Miami Heat to within 2 points. So very slowly and agonizingly, for the Wizards at least, they are making inroads.
Well, Pat Riley has stayed with House. He feels his energy tonight, even though House might be the 9th man or the 10th man in their new rotation. But tonight is his night. His energy, the guys are feeding off it, and something good is happening.
Well, Pat Riley was trying to find a combination, and he probably wouldn't have played if the club had knocked him down by 15.
Excellent point.
8 points for Eddie House off the bench. And the Wizard lead down to 2. It was 15 at one point. And 8 going into this 4th quarter. But this is Michael Jordan time when the game is close. You know what he has done. Here is Leitner driving in. And what a reverse layup by Christian Leitner, who has 13 points. Big basket by Leitner with nearly 4 minutes remaining. And the lead is 4. Here is LaMonzo Ellis, and he is knocked down and fouled. And Michael Jordan very upset with that call. It'll be Hayward's 3rd personal.
Now this is just a beautiful move by Christian. Watch how he comes up underneath the rim. Very nice, and the fact that he could get that spin off the glass.
So Leitner with 13 points, very quietly doing a steady job underneath. Under 4 minutes on the clock.
Don't let him carry it. Don't let him carry it.
Here's Eddie House. Lue cuts him off. Loses the dribble. Here's Jackson with a turnaround. And over Michael Jordan. Jim Jackson with 18 points. He had 16 last night against Milwaukee.
Jimmy Jackson has had a big game here tonight. He has shot well, and he's made tough shots.
7 of his last 8, and now you know why Pat Riley is so impressed with him. Hamilton driving in a block. Eddie Jones and Mourning were there, and the Miami Heat, down by 2, can take the lead, and Eddie Jones misses a 3. LaFonso Ellis gets the offensive rebound. Jackson misses, and they crash the boards, and the Wizards will be called for the personal foul, and the Miami Heat, who looked like they were just sleepwalking at times in this second half, have made a run, and they're on the verge of tying this game.
You look at this and you're saying Miami is doing a sensational job in crashing the offensive boards. Good 20-second timeout right now. Pat has to regroup his guys. He wants to make a call and set up a play.
And Kendall Gill could be back as early as Friday. He's been cleared to return. He'll be a big boost. Here is Eddie Jones. Eddie Jones off the glass, and Mourning can't put it back. A little bit too hard off the rim.
Eddie Jones, the defender had him right on the hip all the way. That could have been a 2-shot foul. And then for Mourning to miss that dunk. Wow, that's just a tough night going for you.
Under 3 minutes and 7 on the shot clock. Here is Jordan, fouled by Eddie Jones. Or is that Kevin House? It'll be House with the foul. Well, one thing Pat Riley has said, we can't find someone to step up at the end of games. He's looking for that man tonight. We'll be right back.
He gets trapped. Can he make the pass? Well, you know, Washington has that guy, and he's on the foul line right now. The big thing for Pat Riley is that they must develop that with such a turnover of 10 guys.
Jordan now 5 of 8 from the line. Misses the first, and of course, in the old days, Tim Hardaway was always the guy they could depend on.
Very good. Because he could always make the 3. He could beat his man off the dribble. And then he was a high percentage foul shooter.
The lead is 3 for the Washington Wizards. Trying to make it 4 in a row. And the Heat trying to win their 3rd of the last 4 after dropping 12 straight. So this game up for grabs with 12 on the shot clock. Eddie Jones firing and way off the mark.
Way off is right.
Leitner getting the rebound.
Yeah, see, that was like too jumbled. For him to get 3, it was such an aggressive move, and then he just did not have the ball.
What a move by Michael Jordan.
Yeah.
Taking right and going left and drawing the foul, and this is Jordan time, and it has been, and that's why the Wizards stay in the game. This is where he is such a big factor.
Big game in Dallas, scored over 10. Then he came right back. Big game with Memphis, okay? What he does is he knocks you out in the 4th quarter. He has played extremely well, and with Doug being able to rest him. Now this is, we're looking at 83% foul shooter, okay?
Coming up on Inside the NBA, Ernie Johnson, Kenny the Jet Smith, and Charles Barkley in the studio. Highlights from around the league and a look back at Ramadan with Sharif Abdul-Rahim. Jordan 1 out of 2. He is 7 of 11 from the line.
Get it in here.
Ellis finally does with 2:20 remaining in the 4th quarter. Wizards by 4. Miami needs offense.
Yeah, they've got to get into the set here. See, already we're down to 13 seconds.
Here is Jackson. Ellis setting a screen, and there is Ellis with a hook shot. Haywood gets a piece of it. Last touch with 4 on this shot clock.
Another block from Haywood. Another block.
And now they say Michael Jordan from behind got a piece of it, but I think Haywood had a roll as well.
We only got 4 seconds here.
Here is House forcing up a 3, and the rebound by Rip Hamilton. So the Miami Heat, next to last at averaging 84 a game. Right now, Miami has 78 points.
Well, the people are loving the defense. The defense has been outstanding.
And that's been the most improved aspect of Doug Collins' team. Jordan fires in and out, and the rebound taken down by Jones. It's knocked away, and we're going to call the foul, and that'll be against the Washington Wizards. Christian Leitner committing the personal foul.
Well, Eddie Jones was fouled before that, and he's really hot because he's having a tough night tonight. All of his shots have been difficult shots. Defenders hanging all over him. He just felt that he was blitzed on that rebound.
So both teams are in the penalty, and Alonzo Mourning going to the line. Jones only 8 points tonight, 11 under his season's average. Miami, though, 12 of 13 from the free throw line.
Now, you and I both know that 14 foul shot attempts with 1:33 on the clock is very poor. Anytime that a team only averages 20 to 22, you're going to be near the bottom of the league. And in their offensive set, they just can't get to the line.
And they got a guy at the line, Alonzo Mourning, who has so many great strengths, but 65% from the line is not one of them.
That's correct.
And he missed both.
Once again, Haywood in there with another rebound.
Under a minute and a half.
Oh, he's a workhorse.
Can you see the possibilities in this rookie?
Oh, absolutely. Hey, this is good. Run some time. You got plenty of time because you know that with Hamilton and Jordan, you're going to get a shot.
Both teams in the penalty. Hamilton with a fake on Jones. 2 on the shot clock. Leitner, and it goes off the rim. And Haywood fighting for the loose ball. Stepped on the line. But you got to be impressed with Brendan Haywood, who has come alive after missing the first 12 games. He has 10 rebounds tonight. He had 15 last night, and he had double figures the game before. He's a keeper. We'll be right back.
Nick, your story, you have to be able to go to you. This year, you can pass the ball into the backcourt.
Jones driving to the basket, and Eddie Jones with a big basket, and in double figures, cutting the lead to 2.
Big thing right now is you do not want to foul if you're Miami.
Under a minute to go in the fourth, and 17 right now on the shot clock.
Plenty of time. Riley just pulled him up. Stop the trap. Just get back and play your own man.
Here's Jordan. Jordan with the jumper. And Eddie House has it knocked away and saved. Oh, the hands. Eddie Jones knocked it into the hands of Haywood. A new clock. And now a half a minute remains.
They still have to shoot. They still have to shoot. The big thing for Miami, solid defense, but you must get the rebound.
12-second differential between the shot clock and the game clock in a 2-point game. Here is Teron Lou for 3. Off the mark. Rebound by Eddie Jones. Miami has 1 timeout remaining, and Pat Riley wants to use it here with 11.3 left, and the Wizards' lead is 2.
Miami, it was smart. They got the rebound, and they had a chance for a fast break. As Eddie Jones progressed up the floor, he took a good look, and then Pat Riley called the timeout. Nothing was there.
Back to the finish of regulation. Time is running out, and here is Lafonso Ellis with a 3 off the rim, and the Wizards hold on and win the game. They trapped him against the midcourt sideline, and the Wizards hold on and defeat the Miami Heat.
Great defense by Washington. And then the frustration. We always say you've got to get the ball in bounds. Now just watch now as it comes in, they double team right here. And you could see that everyone was spread out so far that there were no easy outlets, forcing them into where 2 guys could play 3. Excellent defensive move by Washington, trapping on the sideline.
They win it with their defense tonight, and right now let's go to Craig Sager with a couple of their heroes.
Well, Michael Jordan